combination of what we do with our linebackers and what we do with our defensive backs. We're going to go through some of the drills we do. Instead of kind of demonstrating them right here, we're going to do that in the gym this afternoon. So this is kind of setting up what we're going to do in the gym with our drills for both linebackers and for secondary guys. Again, you're more than welcome to have this PowerPoint. If you want to email me at jbosco@yahoo.com. I kind of have the drill list and some things that we're thinking about when we're trying to get our linebackers and our DBs ready to play in our system. So we sat down, and I'm kind of a linebacker guy in our staff. People kind of another guy that helps me so I can roll around a little bit. That's primarily what I am as being the coordinator. And these are some of the things that we're looking for out of our linebackers. And the thing here at the Bosco, we work on these things year round. Obviously, from right now, from January to April, we're in the weight room. We're not doing a whole lot of football stuff. Maybe one day in the morning. Obviously, we play for our school one day in the morning on a Wednesday. We'll go out and throw. Our quarterback, who obviously Steve trains, is also a track guy, 100-meter guy, really fast guy. So he's in track in the afternoon. So we're only throwing one day a week. Then we get into spring ball, and then summer ball, and then the season. So like we talked about in our tackling, we have a progression. So these are some of the things that we're looking for. We want to try to develop these things year round. The first one is we want linebackers to be competitive, compete. Okay. So maybe in the weight room we're talking about, we list just as linebackers. We have the list. We do the power clean, the squat, and who's the top squat, who's the top power clean, and we'll add the numbers up. Who's at the top of that? In season, in practice, okay, we're talking about getting those turnovers on Wednesday. We'll have a list going. Who's got the most turnovers as a linebacker on those Wednesdays? Hey, Crossboard's got 8. He's the best guy in the group. So we're trying to make our guys competitive and just try to outbeat each other as much as they can. Okay, so again, that's something we're looking for. It's something that we want to do year round. We don't want to just tell those guys, hey, we want you to be competitive. We want to put them in competitive situations and be able to rank those things and see who's going to be competitive. Intelligence. One of the things that I say with our kids is you have to get an A in football. Okay? Obviously, there's a football class, you have to get an A in that class. But if you take a math class, if you get an A in that math class, it means you know what's going on. If you take a history class, and you get an A, and we have A, B, C, D as grade wise, that somewhere. So the same thing. So we want to make sure we have smart football players. They have to get an A in football. Physical toughness. Okay, I mean with the intelligence, year-round type stuff. Again, we won't give them a playbook, but we'll give them a packet. Okay, they have to make sure they know it. And in the spring, we actually give them a little mini test. It's not to, hey, you're not going to start because you can't pass this. As coaches, we have 15 days in spring, non-padded. And with that in, if you get into our summer camp, they get about a month off, go travel, do whatever they want to do. And I want to know as a coach, what was I able to teach and what were they able to learn in those 15 days? Okay, so again, intelligence performance. Physical toughness. Okay, again, we're linebackers, we got to be tough. We talked a little bit yesterday. We don't do a whole lot of live, taking guys down to the ground. There's other ways to create physical toughness. Even in the spring and summer, I'm doing any kind of combat drills or physical type stuff. Leadership. Obviously, we're hoping that the leaders of the defense are those linebacker guys. So again, we put them in situations. There's even been times that a couple of kids that we have that are older that we really like, and maybe it's a summer, and one of my coaches. But defensively, we have 6 coaches, 2 D-line guys, 2 linebackers, and 2 DBs. And we do varsity and JV. So that's about a total of 100 kids that we're responsible for in that situation. So, and 2 of them are on campus. The other 4 of us are walk-ons. I'm not a teacher. I have a normal job. Walk on the campus about 2 o'clock. So maybe one of the guys in there, linebacker-wise, I'll go to the DBs and I'll see if our guys can step up and be leaders and run those drills themselves. They know they've been with me for a couple of years. They know what drills I'm looking for. I don't do that all the time, but can I do that? Can I trust those guys to be leaders right now and make sure stuff gets done? Ability to tackle. Again, we talked about that yesterday. We do that year-round. We just don't wait for the first day of pads and say, go tackle somebody. We do that year-round through drills and through a progression. Ability to cover. Okay. Proper technique. We'll go through what we're looking for technique-wise there. Obviously, we need to make sure we have quickness, agility, and strength. And our strength coach does an amazing job. Every year, we're probably one of the most physical teams, and even late in the year, we're able to knock guys off the ball offensively and do those type of things. So that's kind of universal, but for linebackers, me being a linebacker guy, we put this together, and these are the things that we're looking for. And we'll let our kids know this is what we're looking for as football players. When we talk about teaching linebackers, this is what we're doing. We have 3 approaches: a mental approach, technique, and then effort and pride. Okay, so a mental approach, we're talking about mentally. First one is stance. talk about how we get a proper stance, all those things here. Alignments, assignments, and our pre-snap keys. What are we looking for before the ball starts? There's one thing I learned really young as a coach, and this was from an old defensive coordinator at USC back in the early 90s. His name was Don Lindsay. He said the two things you got to coach are your eyes and your feet, or the player's eyes and their feet. And that always kind of stuck with me. So pre-snap keys, where are their eyes? Those two things will get you in trouble. Your eyes are not where they're supposed to be. Your feet are not doing or taking the right angles or the right drops. Okay, eyes and feet. So I stress that with all our new young coaches that come in to coach with us. Eyes and feet. Eyes and feet. Coach those things up more than scheme, especially early on. We talk about technique. We talk about reads or our footwork, our run fit or our pass drop, hit and shed, which means basically block protection, getting off blocks, and then turnovers. And again, I'll go in more detail what we're looking for each of those. The last one again goes back to our motto, okay, swollen punch. Okay? How do we pursue the ball, what drills we do, and tackle. Okay, so we're going to go a little bit more detail on all those things. But this just as a coaching point, this is what we talk about when we talk about teaching linebackers. The mental approach of it, the technique, and the effort. We're not just letting this, okay, just get your stance, whatever. We're going to try to teach all these things. Okay, so these are what we're trying to teach the kids. Okay, mental approach. We talk about stance. Now, with the linebackers, you know, we get some guys that have played linebacker forever, some guys that haven't played very much. So we're going to teach them our stance. And like Steve said with the quarterback stuff, if he's able to get to where he needs to be and the stance is not perfect, I'm not going to sweat over that. Our DB coach is really loose with stance for those guys. Our D-line coach is actually very rigid, like this is almost the only stance you're allowed to get into. Just kind of different philosophies that we each have. So stance, I'm kind of right in the middle of our group between the linebackers and DBs. Here's what we're going to do. As a young guy, we're going to put in the stance. But again, if you're more fluid or functional, again, there's some guys that are taller, some guys that are shorter. So obviously we start with, long as we're going to eliminate false movements. False steps going in the wrong direction. Okay? Make sure feet are parallel, shoulder width apart. Our toes are actually slightly pointed in, and our heels are out. And we have our weight on those toes, because now we can move to our right and to our left. Okay? Like Steve guys said yesterday, there's no sport that I know of, I can't think of one, where your knees aren't flexed, your knees aren't bent. Okay? Upper body at a 45-degree angle, make sure our eyes are where they need to be. Shoulder square, pad level low. We do a lot of stuff, we have what we call a shoot. It's probably a little bit taller than this. They have to go up and get under there, and they get to their stance, and they start doing some sideways movement or downhill movement. And make sure we talk about low pad level. Okay, we over-exaggerate low pad level, because as the game starts, they start getting real high. Okay, that's when we get blocked and get in trouble. Arms hang loosely, again, I don't care if it's down here, or they're up a little bit, again, more flexibility with that. Upper body ready, not tense, and obviously eyes focused on your key. Where are you supposed to be reading? Again, we'll go through what we do there, okay, in the majority of the time. Okay, we get eyes and feet are really important. So again, that starts with stance. We talk about our alignment. Okay, that's the next part. Each call has a specific alignment, okay, based on what you're doing. Based on the front, if we're blitzing, what coverage is called, they have an alignment that they got to line up in properly. Okay? And again, one of the things we talked about with the next one is the bottom line is special alignment gives you the best chance to do your job. We talk about ability alignment. Sure, I want you in that B gap. But if that receiver that you got to work towards is really fast and really wide, okay, well now you have some ability to move. I can still cover that gap and get to where we need to be. Okay, so again, we're not super rigid. Like you have to line up 4 yards or 2 yards right here. Ability alignment to us is more important. Ability means where do you have to be in the run game and the pass game of linebacker? Because you're going to have both. Okay, so ability alignment is both ways. Okay, so that's what we teach alignment-wise. Pre-snap keys. Okay, so again, try to diagnose, we want to make sure that we are right, okay, before snap. Down and distance is the first one, okay? Important indicator of either run or pass. Okay, linebackers make the call usually. Okay, in the huddle, or if we're playing no huddle teams, they'll kind of let guys know, hey, 36. Obviously, we get good film through huddle, we do a down distance breakdown. What I don't want is a down distance where it's a rundown and our guys are kind of bouncing or backing up. Or I don't want it to be a pass down or our linebacker are stepping up. You know, the worst thing to do is it's 3rd and 12, you see the guys run up on any kind of run fake. Okay, that's not what it's 3rd and 12. They're not running the ball here. Okay, so down is important for the pre-snap. Formation recognition. Okay, again, we'll do our game plan. If they line up 3 by 1 and they're going to run the ball only to the 3 receiver side, or they come up with a tight end, they'll have to run to the tight end. Maybe they have a fullback or one of those type of things. Okay, backfield sets. Okay, what does that mean? We get a lot of keys off in the shotgun spread stuff of where that running back's lined up. If he's offset here for a little bit, we get a lot of zone read. As soon as he's even or above the quarterback, we start getting more pass or would be stretched. Okay, so again, we make those guys make a call. Again, they'll call it down distance, they'll call it formation. And we don't do that with the young guys when they get a little older. They'll say trips or tray or triples or spread. They'll start calling the formation. But the backfield set's a really important one. They'll say gun weak, and they'll kind of try to talk about where that running back is. So that's all the things that we teach pre-snap with our linebackers. What is the down and distance? What formation are you seeing? And then where's the running back? Are those things being able to tip off if it's run or pass? And typically, where we're playing at, we get a pretty good idea of what we're seeing there. Okay, there's really only one team, Corona Centennial, that doesn't give anything away. Okay, so that's all the mental stuff. Now we're talking about techniques and skills that we teach. Okay, the first one obviously is reading, trying to read or diagnose the play. Okay, we read, again, we see primarily, we talked about it yesterday, almost 75 to 80% spread, shotgun type stuff. Okay, so again, that's what we're talking about here. So we're going to read quarterback to running back mesh. And then we're going to see the offensive line to confirm that back read and the course of the ball. Okay, when we talk about linebacker reads, there's really only two. We don't talk about here's how you fit power, here's how you fit counter, all those type of plays. Counter is the only one we really should technically fit. Everything else is clear and cloudy, which means I'm a linebacker, there's my gap. If defensive lineman moved or got blocked in my gap and the ball is going that way, I'm going to go one gap wider to keep attacking until I see a clear gap. If I see a clear gap though and the ball's already tempoed outside, I don't want to run through that gap. The ball's now outside. Okay, so clear and cloudy, tempo the ball. Okay, it fits with what we do defensive line-wise, how aggressive those guys are and redirecting and making plays. So quarterback runs through that. It'll have to rerun a pass. Again, he's here, hand the ball off. Sometimes it goes just straight back. Okay, so that's what we're reading first. Okay. Then we look down the line. We don't read guards first. If we played a bunch of wing T, we definitely read guards first. We don't see that anymore. So we've changed more to a quarterback, running back to line read. So our first eye, our eyes in the back, then it goes to the line. To confirm the run pass given by the back. Again, the more run pass option teams we get, that gives us nothing. There'll be a pass play and the line will be 4 or 5 yards downfield. It should be illegal, but they don't call it. Okay. They confirm the direction of the play to see the back read is true or false. Okay, and then obviously the course of the ball, proper pursuit angles, very important for us. We work some pursuit drills, some drills just with our linebackers. We'll talk about how we do that here. I mean, clear and cloud again. Fill the clear window. If that's your gap, and now if there's too many bodies there, keep going one gap wider, knowing at the same time we're going to tempo the ball. The balls go wide, don't worry about interior gaps. And so that's how our linebackers read plays and diagnose. We're in zone coverage. Okay, our guys know we're playing zone coverage, cover 3, cover 6, those type of zone defenses. We're going to play run first. Want to be a run first player. We are linebackers. We're not DBs. We're not pass players first. Okay, we're going to backpedal or cross over to your drop. Traditionally, in the one high deal, which we do most likely with the 2 inside backers, we're going to spot drop to about 12 yards deep. Primarily focus on the quarterback. We're in zone, so our eyes are on the quarterback. In zone, our eyes are on the quarterback. Feel the route combinations. We settle about 12 and 15 of the keepers. We talk about the word exit angles. Let's get a buzzword. Exit angles means I recognize pass. What is my angle when I drop back? Okay. And again, we talk about back or crossover. If I'm a linebacker and I'm dropping over number 2, if number 2 is right here where the projector is, that's going to be basically a back pedal to get in my angle. Okay? If now number 2 is way out there in the second row, I now have to cross over to get to my drop. Okay? That is our exit angle. Sometimes and again, we can't say in this coverage it's always this. Okay? We're basically relating off that number 2 receiver most of the time. Or if it's tricks. Okay, the tighter he is, the more we can straight back pedal. The farther away he is, the more we might have to cross over, run, and take that proper angle. Again, we use the word exit angles. Okay, we talk about it all the time. We watch film with our guys. Hey, your exit angle is too flat. Okay, your exit angle is not wide enough. Okay. Whenever we play zone coverage, we gotta make sure they know where their help is. Where is my help? Okay, am I the curl player? Okay, if I'm the curl player, is there a flat player? Where is he at? Is there a hook player? Where is he at? Okay. We mentioned this yesterday, coming and going effect. Okay, if we're working number 2 and he goes out, majority of the time, what's going to happen? Somebody's going to be coming in, coming and going. So we talk about that. If someone is leaving your zone, look for someone else coming into your zone. Don't chase. We are zone playing. Okay, if we're playing a curl flat, don't chase. It's not a man type. Awesome. Again, because our primary focused on the quarterback, we're driving off this offhand coming off the ball. We don't want to get pump fake. Okay, and then from there we're going to drive on the balls. Here we spend quite a bit of time working that type of stuff. Our linebacker will play a little bit of man coverage. Okay, again, eyes and feet are important. Our eyes, make sure we're focused on our eyes. We're focused on our man. Don't let your eyes wander around. Okay, that's my tight end. That's what I'm looking at. Okay, anytime we're in man coverage, we're talking about leverage. Same thing when we talk about tackling. Leverage. Okay, we never want to go head up. It's now give them a two-way go. We're going to take away something. Either take away the inside or the outside based on the defense call. If we're blitzing, we always want to take away the inside, force the outside route. If we were playing a cover one where we have a whole player and we want to force them inside, then we have an outside route. Okay, feet. Let's be set. Kept alive, never let your feet stop when we're man. Okay, so again, we do this stutter drill that we'll do in the gym here, and again, that guy's breaking down, can't ever stop our feet when we're man. Okay, don't be stuck in cement. And obviously body control is important. You gotta teach linebackers who usually aren't very good at playing man to be able to play. And we're playing man, it's usually on a tight end or a running back. Very seldom will we have to be on a receiver with our linebackers. Okay, hit and shed, which is basically block protection. Very, very important. One of the most important things about linebackers. Okay, hand placement and controlling the blocker is important. We talked about yesterday on the block protection stuff, getting separation. Okay, when we talk about punching our hands, it must be violent and physical. You see linebackers come up and kind of put their hands on guys. That's not what we're looking for. Okay, so when we go into the gym a little bit later on, we'll go through some of the drills that we do. Talk about our hit and shed with our linebackers. Okay, we talk about hat and hands and being physical and getting hand placement, getting our hands inside, our thumbs up, locking out, and being nice and violent with that. That's the only way we're going to get out blocks. We saw that play yesterday with a strong safety came up and did it. Did a pretty good job of being physical. And obviously our feet, again, feet are important, feet and eyes, we can't stress that enough. Making sure we're taking on blocks that our feet aren't just stuck. We're trying to knock that guy back, work our proper leverage, and obviously get off the ball. Okay, so that's the stuff that we're teaching our linebackers. Blitz technique. Okay, again, we're not a huge blitz technique, but here's basically how we do it. Okay, again, this is our will backer. If he's going to be an A-gap blitzer, he's blitzing the A-gap. Okay, he's going to read the center. As I said, you see a little ball right in front of him. Okay, if we're blitzing the B-gap, we're going to read the guard. Okay, and obviously if we're blitzing off the edge, we read the tackle. Okay, that's what we're doing as we're blitzing and reading that guy. Okay, so we blitzing right now. It's a B-gap blitz with a will back. So he's told to blitz in the B-gap. Again, we'd be reading the guard. If he winds or steps towards us, okay, what happens is we got to make sure those guys understand you're an A-gap blitzer, B-gap blitzer, or you have the A-gap and run, the B-gap and run. Those gaps move. It's not that little territory where the play started, and that's what you have. Okay, that's that gap, if it can move on zone, same thing on pass. So if we're blitzing the B-gap, we want to make sure we widen, cage, which basically means punch the guy and stay in that B-gap. So if he steps towards us, okay, we can't be going on that same track and end up in the A-gap. Okay, because now with our defense, we have a defensive lineman in that A-gap, we'd have two guys in the same gap and nobody in the B-gap. So we do linebacker blitz drills, and we'll have that guard right in front of us, and he'll step towards us. We have to make sure we cage and keep our gap integrity, and make sure that we're still in the B-gap. Just because he steps that way, again, we see the same angle, we don't want to run right into him head up, we definitely don't want to end up in the A-gap. We'll have two guys in that gap, nobody in the other gap. Okay, so again, this is one of the blitz technique drills that we do. He steps towards us, okay, cage and then widen. Now we're blitzing, and that guy steps down. Okay, so again, we want to redirect or flatten that angle. We want to go right off of his hip on his right side. Knowing that if he blocks down, a lot of times the other tackle will block down. Okay, so again, we wouldn't want to run into that guy and just get crushed. Okay, so if we're blitzing that B gap, we're reading the guard. Okay, he steps towards us, we're going to widen. He steps down, we're going to flatten and redirect. Try to beat that tackle through there. You always talk about next potential blocker. Obviously, that guard steps down, he's not going to block you. Who's the next guy that can get you? Always the first stop will be that tackle. We won't want to straight blitz, let that guy come here holes to get us. Okay? And the last one is when we blitz, we get high hat or pass. Always want to get on the blocker's edge and then work and move. We talk about having a plan. If we don't like, especially with our linebackers, we're not very good bull rushers. We just want to go through there, flip our hips, okay, and work a rip or a swim or those type of things. Okay, so again, when we blitz, we don't just say, go blitz a B gap. And what's going to happen to you as you blitz the B gap? Guards can step towards you, cage and widen. Guards can step down, redirect. And then if you're blitzing into the A gap, you do the same thing on the center. Center steps to you, cage you wide. Center walks down, redirect. You go straight back and work your move. We talked about a little bit yesterday creating turnovers. Yeah, it's a big deal for us on Wednesday. We talked about middle Monday. We talked about Tuesday, turnover Wednesday. Okay, so we had a little circuit that we did out there. Sometimes we'll do it with the whole team. Sometimes the linebackers will do it just by themselves, depending on how much time we have, and so on. When we talk about creating turnovers, always want to make sure we're aggressive. Like I said to Jim yesterday, it's a has-to-be job for that strip, as we're working this strip or whatever we're doing, that's full speed. Okay, full speed stripping that ball out. The drills, again, we talked about yesterday, the tomahawk strip was when you see no ball. Okay, we're going to come over the top and rip the ball out. The punch strip is where we're coming underneath and trying to punch that ball out. Okay, that's when we see the ball exposed. Wrapping strip is when the three guys, there's a runner, the guy comes up and wraps to make a good tackle, and the other guy strips. Okay, and then we talk about recovery drills, which was scoop and score, prenatal, those type of things. I have a little clip here of the play I was talking about yesterday. This is our state championship game. Okay, so we're playing De La Salle. You heard obviously that they have that movie out. St. James Town's called, yes, thank you. So this is our state championship game in Sacramento State. I got a few diagrams on here. So again, we're playing split back here. We've got the dive, we have a quarterback player, he pitches it. So our pitch player, who's this guy, comes inside. Big no-no. Okay, again, we don't do the same thing as the linebackers, but tempo the ball. So he's supposed to go inside that receiver. Okay, don't go inside the receiver because the ball's already outside. He didn't tempo the ball. So he knows he's in trouble. Takes another bad angle, chases. Okay, secures. He's not able to secure on the shoulders, but he's able to at least grab the jersey. Okay, he can see the ball there, so he's going to punch the ball out. Okay, nice and violent. He's trying to do what with the guy's elbow? His elbow away from the body. Okay, punch ball. A big game. Okay, there's 4 Bosco guys there, 1 De La Salle guy. You should be able to get it. Okay, he 42 here lands on it, and he does what? Rolls over. You don't want to roll over. Okay. Only bad things happen. He should go there and just stay on his side, pull his knees up to him. Again, that's what we would call prenatal. Because he rolls over, that's when that ball comes up and out. We actually don't get this ball. It's about a 40-something yard gain from that 50-yard gain. Okay. Great effort of knowing he screwed up, chasing the guy. Okay. Securing the tackle, punching the ball out. Again, he knows he's going to go underneath because you see the ball exposed. Okay. And now we want to work this recovery drill. And as well, you'll see everybody coming here fighting. We only have one guy yelling first down, okay? Because everybody else basically ends up in the pile trying to get the ball out.
Only one guy.
Yeah, only one guy. Because we got 9 guys in the pile, and this guy didn't want to point. The heat was too cold. It was about 32 degrees in the evening. Okay? But again, you'll see him, again, he should be yelling first down, first down, first down. Everybody else in that pile fighting with that ball. Again, this is a state championship game. I love the effort. Okay? These other guys, as they start getting killed off, should be pointing. Okay, and they're not. Okay, so again, I wanted to kind of show that example of that strip drill we're doing, but we're talking about working those things and doing those things. Again, we talk about it on Wednesday. It's a big deal for us. Turnover Wednesday. Doing them either an individual turnover circuit, and in our 7-on, our inside run, and our team drill, we're trying to make sure we get the ball back at least one time. Okay. Effort and pride. We have a couple different pursuit drills that we do. It's trying to make sure we're taking the proper angles. We used to do this every day, but as we've gotten better at taking pursuit of the ball, we maybe do this once a week, or maybe we played the night before, or the week before. I thought our pursuit wasn't very good. We'll start with pursuit through that next week. Okay, but again, obviously linebacker pursuing the ball. So here's our normal fits that we talk about. This would be in a 1-high coverage. So again, these are our 2 inside linebackers. We have our strong safety and our weak safety, and we have a free safety here. Okay, so this would be a 1-high deal. Because of the more of the RPO type stuff we're seeing, we're playing more high. I would love to be more of a 2-high split safety guy. We just kind of start to get this a little more success. So the ball is going to our right. Okay, we always have a force player. His job is to come up and set the force, keep his outside arm and leg free when you're the force player, and keep our body square. We don't want to turn in and let him get outside of us, and we don't want to be too far too far inside, okay, or too far upfield. So he's our force player. Set the force, keep our outside arm leg free. Inside linebacker basically nose up, which means he's going to go the same angle and attack that running back head up. Okay. Our will linebacker situation would be trailing him, okay, just inside for cutback. And our backside guy, we use it to acronym CBR for cutback, boot, and reverse. That's what he's looking for. He's looking for the ball to cut back. Running back cuts back, he can take that. If it's boot, he can now help us out on the boot. Or if the play's going that way and that receiver on the outside runs a reverse, he's the guy that will be responsible for that. Okay, so we have a force player, a nose-up player, a trail player, and the last guy, CBR. This guy's not allowed to go slow. Okay, he's a backside, safe, basically kind of almost like safety type guy there. Cut back, move, reverse. Okay, this would be an example of a poor angle. Okay, here's our force player. He went too wide, got too far upfield. He didn't do the job, he didn't set the corner. Okay, here's our nose-up player. Okay, and he's going to get too wide on that play. Okay, he wants to go the same angle. He's going to basically mirror the same angle. He's going to work outside the running back, but that's too wide, too far upfield. He's going to work even with the guy. He now went too wide. He's the cutback player, or the trail player. Problem is he got cut out by the guard. That would be wrong. Okay, so if that guard comes and blocks him, that's we're templing the ball, and the ball's already there in that C gap. He would want to work on the other side of that block. Okay, and again, he didn't want to go too fast, get walled off, and let the play cut back the other way, or some kind of reverse. So that would be pursuit improper pursuit angles by him. That's not force technique. Okay, too wide, too far field. That's not nose up. That's a bad job of trail, and that's a bad job of CBR. Okay, so we're talking about pursuit angles. Those are the things we're looking at. Okay, force, nose up, trail, CBR, and those would be the wrong ways to do it. Okay, tackling is very important for linebackers. We went to the gym and talked about how we do that as a team. Okay, again, because we do that in circuits on Tuesday, on Tough Guy Tuesday, not being the linebackers are not going to tackle other days of the week. Again, we're only allowed to make contact 2 days a week. So we practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday is really no contact. We usually just some shoulder pads and helmets, sometimes just helmets, depending on what's going on that week. We talked about the 3 phases yesterday. Approaching the ball carrier. How do you approach the ball carrier? Again, we don't just say, go tackle that guy. What's the approach? Okay? How do we make contact, and how do we finish? Okay? In coaching points, I should be focused on that near hip. Okay? Again, the Pete Carroll, the hawk tackle, says eyes to the thighs. Okay, we focus on the near hip. Okay. Leverage tackle. Again, don't give the ball carrier a 2-way go. If you're that force player, you got to be outside forcing it. If you're the inside guy, you got to force play. Okay, so leverage tackle. You don't almost never take anything up head up. Okay, it's always leverage. We make shoulder contact. Knowing to keep the head out of the tackle, the head out of the game. Again, it's always a big deal back at home. Concussions and all those type of things. You know, our numbers of participation have dwindled down a little bit. Especially in the Orange County area we're at, where there's a lot of families. You know, my kid's gonna get concussion. Well, it's not like he played 30 years in NFL football. So we want to definitely make the game safer. The rugby tackle, shoulder contact, we'll keep the head out of the game. Talk about rapid squeeze. Again, grab cloth. Talk about tackling, grabbing cloth, and then drive for 5. Okay, once we make contact, we accelerate on contact. We don't stop our feet. Accelerate on contact. Drive for 5. Okay, drive for 5. Is that one ready for you?
I'm going to call off.
Okay. Like keep going there. Okay, well, there's still this, but it's almost done. Okay. All right, so that's basically what we teach linebackers. So now, that's what we've talked about, our philosophy. So now, how do we drill that in practice? Depending on the day, we get anywhere from 10 minutes to probably the most is 20 minutes of endo. So I don't get a whole lot of time to do this stuff, okay? So we talk about our drills, our linebacker endo drills. We need to make sure we have some kind of footwork or movement drills. Okay, what's that going to be? We don't want to spend all our time on that. We need to have some kind of drills for run reads. Some kind of drills for pass drops. Okay, for pass rush or blitzing. Okay, if we're going to do a bunch of that week, that's a little bit more important. We have a question over here. Block protection. What drills we do for that and how much time? Turnovers, tackling, and pursuits. Okay, we got a little more detail, but that's basically our drill list. It has to do with those things. Okay, so here's what we do. I make all the young coaches kind of put a drill list, and this is not all inclusive. It's just ideas. What are your footwork drills that you can do for a linebacker? Okay, and again, when we go out on the field, these are exactly the ones we'll do, and we'll talk about them in a little bit more detail. But as a linebacker coach, if you're a linebacker coach, you can use this as a D-line coach, as a DB coach. What are your footwork drills? Okay. What are the drills you do for reading the run? What are your zone coverage or man coverage drills? How are you going to drill that and end them? And again, I'm all about progressions and breaking things down. I don't want to just say, all right, we did nothing in endo, let's go do one-on-ones. Okay, with the linebackers, tight ends. We want to have some kind of drill or progression beforehand. What's our blitz drills? Okay. What are our drills for block protection? Getting off blocks. What are our turnover drills? Okay. Do we have a pursuit drill just for linebackers or is it more team? What are our drills just for tackling for the linebackers? Okay, so each coach will have that little kind of drill list so they know what they're trying to accomplish. And this the drill better fit into it. Footwork, reading the run, playing the pass, blitzing, getting off the block, creating a turnover, running to the ball, or tackling. The drill doesn't have to do with that, I'm not really interested in it. Okay. What we do drill-wise is we're limited on time. I know when I say 18-hour rule, that sounds like a ton of hours, but it is basically cut down from what we used to have. You can only make contact with us 2 days. So here's what we do in our philosophy. So on Monday, again, we talk about mental Monday. We come and watch film. We're going to watch our previous game and then watch our opponent. We're going to work the run fix or the run reads of whatever offense we're playing that week. They're a big counter team, a big outside zone. We're going to do some run reads, some run fix there. We're going to work some footwork drills. Again, mostly in the shoots on Monday. Okay, again, get them under that thing, get them being a knee bender. Sometimes it's not super realistic, but it's to get them playing low. We'll do a little bit of block protection, okay? And then we'll do non-contact tackling fundamentals. Okay, that would not have been the one we were on our knees yesterday, right? We come up and wrap and squeeze. That tracking drill that we did yesterday, where I'm carrying into your head and I'm tracking them and shuffling down. Those are the type of things that we're going to do on Monday. Like I said, a lot of times it's just helmets and shoulder pads. We're not in full gear. Okay? So again, that's our mental Monday. Tuesday, when we have our angle times a little bit less, because we do goal line that day. There's some other things that we do that makes our endo a little bit shorter. Okay, so again, we'll do that tackle circuit. Sometimes that's the whole team going to stations. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 drills of just the linebackers doing specific drills, just the DBs. And then that's a pretty heavy block protection. Okay, getting off skin, getting off bodies, again, tough guy Tuesday. Not a whole lot of footwork drills in there. We're not really doing a whole lot else besides tackling and getting off blocks. Okay, 2 very, very important things in playing linebacker, playing defense. On Wednesday, we have a little bit more time on Wednesday. Endo's a little bit longer, make sure everything gets cleaned up. So again, we'll do the turnover circuit, those 4 stations that we did yesterday. Again, sometimes that's with everybody, sometimes that's just in linebackers. Okay, linebackers, we're going to do a interception drill and then a strip drill, or the first down. Again, ball drills, including that. We'll go, like I said, we go varsity JV. Our JV guys will go service the offense for a little bit. And that time I just kind of throw ball drills. We'll do any kind of zone coverage type drills. Next we'll work our blitz technique. What blitzes are in this week? You know, we probably have about 15, 20 blitzes going into the game. We probably only have 4 that we're going to call. So we're going to work those drills, or that blitzes on trash cans. Or we'll do that thing where we're going to blitz the B gap and then read that guard. If he blocks to us, we're going to cage and widen, do all those type of things. And then if there's anything specifically position tackling, we need to work that. Okay, so again, Wednesday we have a little bit more time. Tuesday we have very little time, and Monday's kind of normal. And that's just how our practice is set up. So we know, our kids know, even though it's kind of repetitive, our kids know on Monday pretty much what type of drill we're doing. What the exact drill, we're not sure yet. Tuesday, they know, hey man, we're going to be tackling, getting off blocks. Tough guy Tuesday. We're going to strap up today and be ready to go. And then Wednesday we talk about doing that. And so that's kind of fundamentally how we break down the week. To roll out those 3 days. And Thursday would be just a walkthrough type deal. Friday's our game. They do nothing on the weekends. Saturday or Sunday. Okay. Any questions there, linebacker wise?
I got a question regarding turnovers. When you go 7-on-7, do you count turnover on downs, or it doesn't have to be taken?
No, it would be. They would basically have to get an interception. Okay, which is a great question because what happens is they didn't get it the last couple Wednesdays. They tell the JV quarterback, "Hey man, just throw me an interception." You know what I mean? So they don't have to run afterwards. So what happens is our quarterback coach, I kind of get on him like, "Hey man, do not let Quentin or Real or whoever it is, Joey, don't let them throw an interception just because the defensive guys are getting on them." Or they catch the ball, the receiver catches and tucks away, they come in here and wrap it up and strip the ball. So you'll see guys catch the ball in 7-on-7 in practice, and our guys are going in there trying to rip the ball out or punch the ball out. Okay, so again, if they don't get it, it's one gasser, it's not the end of the world, but we don't actually even run into practice. Our practices are so fast. No one's standing around coaching. We film a lot of things. So a lot of our conditioning is done during practice. During inside run, guys run around during 7-on, during team, that kind of stuff. So if they don't get that turnover, it's really only one gasser. But after a few weeks, they'll kind of get, hey man, just don't be like, hey, you know, it's like, say you slipped or something like that. They're really trying to make sure that we're securing the tackle and trying to strip the ball out. Again, that's one of the things, we end up getting more than one usually every day. And again, if we talk about making linebackers competitive, we start listening, hey, he had 4 turnovers last week. Who's going to beat him this week? I know if you watch Alabama games, have you seen that belt they have? On Alabama, so what they do is they have a belt like a wrestling, WWE or WWF belt. And when you come out, and you're in the game, and you get a turnover, they have an assistant coach basically go over and hand you this belt. That basically you are the turnover champion. So if you watch that game, what is it here? Monday? Okay. So the national champion. I'm a big roll Tide. Yeah, absolutely. But I saw that. Trust me. I'm a big Alabama fan. I'm like Nick Saban's like 2 or 3 of his playbooks. It's pretty cool. But you'll see if you happen to watch the game and you see a turnover, you will see a guy come over and he'll be literally holding this belt. And it's like a big old WWE belt. He's the turnover champion. Okay, so again, that's something. Again, they just stress it's important. And again, I know the hard way. Again, we've been in the state final, the championship game 4 years in a row. We've won it twice, lost it twice. The 2 games we lost, we got 0 turnovers, and our offense turned the ball over 7 times. We lost by 7 points and 10 points. That was the difference. We can have 4 championships in a row, but turnovers cost us those 2 games. So again, if you want this PowerPoint, you know, even if you're not a linebacker coach, but you want to do some of these things for your DBs or D-line or receivers or whatever, feel free to obviously email me, sjboscodefense@yahoo.com. Right? Question?
On zone coverage, let's say Teil or Bosco or whatever is going downfield, crossing the zone of the linebacker, does he ultimately try to collide with them?
Yes, most of our coverages, we talked about this yesterday, we have a collision or matching coverage, or we have basically what we call country coverage, which is the spot drop. But again, we never want to let a guy run right through our seam, so we're going to try to go in collision, but we're only going to carry it to about 12 to 15 yards. But we definitely don't want guys running free. The only time we let guys run free is in our cover 2 type deal. But again, that's we ran at 12 snaps mentality. So we had last year we played 15 games. I think we had about 880 snaps, and 12 of them were cover 2. It's just not something we do right. 3rd and 18, but that's what we'll do. And again, we don't try to get any collision. We're just kind of spot drop, reading the quarterback, breaking downhill. That's the only time that we're not trying to get hands on. Getting hands on, very big deal. Rerouting, collision. Doing a good job of that.
Maybe or later, when we are rebuilds.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. So again, what we talked about here, and I went through here kind of fast, but this is kind of setting the foundation for when we go into the gym, and we're going to talk about these exact drills. We'll do this blitz drill, exactly what I mean, how we do that. We did the turnovers yesterday, but we'll start talking about some of these drills that we do. Here's some footwork we do just for linebackers. Here's some run week we do. We'll do some zone coverage drills. Again, we already did this kind of yesterday, but we'll get into the other stuff when we get to the gym. Again, if there's anything specific you guys want to see, hey man, we have a problem with guys getting reroutes. We have a problem with guys doing this. Just go ahead and just ask, and I don't have every answer, but I'll at least tell you what we do, and there's obviously better ways to do it, but I'll at least tell you how we do it. Got it? All right, any other questions? All right, thanks a lot.